Today, I wanted to talk to you about speech and how speech can be one of the most powerful tools to make progress and transform your life in almost any area once you actually understand how to work with it and integrate it into your life. It's been an insanely powerful tool in changing how I go about life and making progress, and I think it can be for you too. But first, before we get to that, there are some fundamentals that we need to cover in order for you to be able to actually implement it to make change. And the first fundamental we need to discuss here is the fundamentals of beliefs. Now, beliefs are born from our interactions with the world and how we view the world. They are what make up how we view the world, how we interact with it. But it's all formed from initial interactions. And we know from experience that we can hold false beliefs. I'm sure you've believed something in the past and been proven wrong. And it's not a great feeling for the ego when you're proven wrong. But you know that you hold some beliefs that are probably verifiably wrong, and they have just yet to be challenged. Due to the nature of beliefs being able to be true and false, we actively seek our lives looking for confirmation in our beliefs. We look for confirmation that what we believe is true, and if it's not true, we look to switch that to adopt the correct belief, unless it is a belief that we hold very close to our hearts and it's very damaging to the ego. Then we typically like to reject evidence that is to the contrary. But this is kind of the whole basis for why social media is set up the way it is. Social media reinforces what you believe and tries to not show you anything to disagree with your views so that it can get more attention from you, more engagement, and more time spent on their platforms. If you have a YouTube video that shows a right-wing ideology, if you like that video, it's going to show you more videos surrounding that ideology and branches that are related to it. And if you dislike that video, it's going to show you way less of that and more of the left views, and going to start feeding you that content regularly to confirm your beliefs, right? And this is the source of confirmation bias. Since we hold these beliefs, and beliefs are so strong in our lives, we need to figure out which beliefs are good for us, which beliefs are bad for us. Because beliefs are the single most important factor that determine how you act and why you acted in that way. Because when you act in accordance with your beliefs and you truly believe it, you get a sense of fulfillment and realization out of it because you think you're doing what is true and right. Like, let's say in the example, you want to build your perfect body, and you know, or you believe that you know, that eating healthy is the way to get there. You will act in accordance with that belief simply because you believe it, and you believe that it's going to help you get to that goal. But if you're on this type of diet and you fail a day or you fail a meal, you're going to get this sense of discomfort, and that's what we call cognitive dissonance. And this is just that sense of discomfort in the mind when you are not acting in accordance with your beliefs, and it's almost your mind telling yourself on the spot that you're being hypocritical towards your beliefs. But typically, we like to ignore this dissonance as much as possible, and that is why we seek confirmation bias. Now, in relation to speech, it's finally coming in, how speech relates to our beliefs. This is where the secret in transforming your life lies. Because if you recall before, I said that beliefs are the number one indicator on how you are going to act and why you act how you do. Now, just hold on to that for a second. We have an inner dialogue, right? We all do. If you don't, I don't know, there's something wrong with you, you might have to get checked. But for the most part, a lot of my thinking about what I'm going to do, what I have to do, etc., all of that is just in my mind. It's not something that I have to speak out loud. But it's so subconscious that you don't even really think about it, because you don't generate your own thoughts, right? Thoughts just kind of pop in, they come and go. And you'll learn that through meditation, that you're not in control of your thoughts, right? I didn't think to go grab that snack. It just kind of popped into my head. But if I act on it, then I'm just acting in accordance with my thoughts and with my inner dialogue. And this is the reason that you act most of the way that you do, because your inner dialogue is based on those beliefs. When you are aware of this inner dialogue and how it interacts with your beliefs, you are able to observe what you truly think of yourself, what you think your limits are, and what your boundaries are for what you're willing to do and not do. And all this can be seen by just observing your inner dialogue towards yourself. Like, if you have an assignment due, and it's due in an hour, right? You've been putting it off, you've been procrastinating, it's due at midnight, and you have to get it done, but it's not even that much work, right? Like, most people could get it done in an hour, but you just view yourself as a slow worker. You might not even attempt to get that assignment in because, I'm a slow worker, probably not going to get it done. So what's the point? No harm, no foul. I'll do the next assignment. Right? And that's just a limiting belief that you have, and it is your inner dialogue showing itself and showing that you believe you're a slow worker and that you don't have what it takes to get it done. So when you identify negative speech like this towards your inner beliefs and towards what you believe about yourself and your capabilities, I need you to recognize that. And if you are alone, right, if possible, I need you to verbally say out loud the opposite. I need you to say out loud what you want your belief to be. So in this case of I'm a slow worker, I'm not productive, if you catch that thought in your head, you need to stop that thought, acknowledge it, and say out loud, I am a productive worker and I can do more work than all my peers around me. And if you affirm that out loud and say it with conviction and truth in your heart, then it's going to become a part of you. And it's going to cause a little bit of dissonance inside. You're not going to believe it right away, because obviously your initial thought is that you're not a productive worker and that you are a slow-paced worker who can't do as much work as most people, right? But the more you affirm this to yourself, the more you're going to act in accordance with it. And if you speak like this every time you catch that thought about whatever area you're trying to progress in, it's going to become more of a belief, and such, you're going to act in a way that reduces cognitive dissonance or reduces discomfort, and you're going to act in a way that makes that belief true now. You're going to go out and learn all the productivity tips that you can, and you're going to actually implement them if you're routinely saying to yourself every time that you have the thought that you're lazy and a bad worker, that no, I'm actually productive and I can do more than the people around me. You're going to go out and seek to make that happen, especially when you speak it into existence. Because when you're speaking it out loud, you're hearing it, right? Your body is picking up, and it's something that it's hearing. And when you hear it, but also can say it with conviction in your heart, then your body is convinced that it is true. Your body and mind is convinced that this is the truth, this is who we are. And over time, that change is going to kick in on any sort of topic that you want it to, as long as you repeat it and are consistent with it. You need to have this sort of internal battle with your inner dialogue, where you're trying to eliminate these old beliefs that are holding you back, all this negativity that is holding you down, and you are coming in and attacking it with the opposite, the positive version of these negative beliefs. This is kind of what therapy does, right? It's reframing your brain to think differently about your circumstances, about your life, and about who you are as an individual. This is the most simple way I can tell you to boost self-esteem, boost consistency, boost discipline, is that every time that negative thought that's counteractive to the person that you want to be comes in, you say with conviction, no, that's not who I am. I'm this positive, better version of that. And over time, these limiting beliefs are going to break down, and these new beliefs that you're implanting into yourself are going to sprout just like seeds and take over all of your old beliefs. It's much easier to implant new beliefs into your mind than you might think, because human beings, like, the brain is so malleable and open to suggestion that it's insane. You can see one thing on the news and fully believe it and fully change your entire opinion on a topic just because you saw it somewhere, right? Because it was suggested to you. They might not have any evidence or backings for it, but it was suggested to you and they seem like a trustworthy person. So you pick up that belief, you adopt it as your own, and it becomes part of who you are. So when you do this with positive habits or positive thoughts and develop these positive thought patterns, there's literally no telling where you can stop and what you can accomplish when you realign your beliefs in a positive way. Because all you are is a culmination of what you believe yourself to be. This is kind of what people mean when they say believe in yourself. Because the person who doesn't believe in themselves believes A, B, C, D, E, etc., like going on the whole alphabet list of things that are wrong with them and reasons why they can't do anything, right? Why they can't achieve a goal of theirs. It's because there's this laundry list of things that are wrong with them, but they aren't actually wrong with them. They just believe it. So they act in accordance with it. So I hope that this is applicable to someone out there, and that you can use it to change your mental construction and viewing of who you are, and change how you interact with the world, right? I advise you to go out and seek confirmation of these things, right? If you're seeking to get better and more productive with schoolwork or work towards a business, whatever, learn some productivity tips, implement them, and watch yourself become a more productive person. And every time you see you doing something productive, that's just going to confirm in the back of your mind that you are this productive person and this is who you truly are. So I hope this can be helpful to some of you guys out there. Comment any advice or any video topics that you guys would want to see. Leave a like, and as always, stay blessed.